Your deposition is where you're going to testify under oath, and opposing counsel is going to ask you questions about what you saw, what you know, and what you heard. A deposition is not your opportunity to make your case. It's the opportunity for the defendants or the other side to make their case using your testimony. That's an important thing to remember because a lot of people feel like they need to get every detail out in a deposition. In fact, the opposite is somewhat true. You need to answer the question and only the question. Do not volunteer information that has not been specifically requested. Going into a deposition, it's important that you engage in healthy habits. That means make sure for the preceding nights you get good night's sleep, eat a healthy breakfast, follow your regular routine if it's have a cup of coffee in the morning. Once you are in the deposition, it's important that you allow your attorney to make objections before responding to the question. That's important because it preserves the record for trial in case there is an objectionable question posed to you by opposing counsel. So be sure that no matter how easy the question is, that you pause before giving a response. It's important that going into this deposition that you don't go and talk about your deposition with anybody because they will be able to discover during the questioning of you what you said to people about your deposition. Often, opposing counsel will show you your discovery responses. If they ask you why you wrote something and you don't know, it's okay to say you don't know because you prepared discovery responses with the assistance of your attorneys. That is not something that you are expected to prepare on your own, so it's okay to say, I'm not sure, you gotta ask my attorney. But if it's about something that you personally experienced, you made a complaint to your HR manager on such and such date, then you've gotta be able to be ready to explain the circumstances around that. Be expected for the important events in your case to know the fine details, who was around, who saw it, where you were, etc. Don't try to memorize answers or anticipate the exact questions they're going to ask. You'll likely only stumble upon your responses if you do that. Be sure to dress professionally, but consistent with the person that's presented in your complaint. For example, if you dress casually to work every day because you worked in an establishment that was casual, then wear casual clothing. But if you were in a professional environment, be sure to continue to dress professionally. Know that your deposition is likely to be videotaped. That means that it could be used at trial, and you'll want yourself to present at the deposition the same way that you would if you were in front of a jury at trial. When we make objections, they're just for the record. So go ahead, keep the question in mind, and respond to the question after we're done with our objections. Only if we tell you not to answer the question would you then not answer the question. There are two types of opposing counsel out there. There's some that are nice and who will realize that they'll get good information from you by being kind to you, and there's some that'll be hostile. And regardless of how they interact with you, your reaction to them has to be the same. You've got to be the cool, calm, collected witness that you have always been, regardless of how they're acting. The information that you convey at your deposition goes beyond the words that you say. It's also very much about your conduct, your gestures, your facial expressions. So be sure that you're cognizant of some of your habits and your telltales when you're responding to your questions. Some standard admonishments that you'll get when you start the deposition is the attorney will tell you not to speak at the same time as the attorney. It's important also that you respond audibly with English words to all the questions. That's because the court reporter can't type down gestures and and They're going to tell you that you're allowed to estimate, but they don't want you to guess about anything. And they'll tell you about how you'll have an opportunity to review your deposition transcript after the deposition is concluded and make any changes. But if you change a yes to a no or make other substantive changes, they could use that to call into question your credibility at the time of trial. Your deposition, surprisingly, is not your opportunity to tell your story. It's not your opportunity to be a superstar in front of the camera or to shine. It's the opportunity for opposing counsel and the opposing party to build their case against you and pull out bad facts from your case. Again, remember, at the deposition, we just want you to be yourself. We'll run through some drill questions with you, but the most important thing for you to do is to keep an open mind, take it slow, there's no time limit on the deposition, give us an opportunity to do our work between the question and your answer, and you'll do just great.